This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
What's up, everybody? Ricky Widmer here, along with fellow man-child Johnny Karlic. And we are back for the Rick and Johnny podcast right here on Most Valuable Podcast, your one-stop shop for, nerdy news,
We're a
entertainment.
store now?
We are. We're a podcasting store.
Oh, okay.
We sell through advertisements the nerdy news, the entertainment news, the movie news. Yeah, we're not actually
way different
selling
than what I
it.
thought.
We're just, because we have ads on our content, that's the only way we make money. They're not paying for this.
Play now, $9.85.
Yeah, it's not that of a thing, but it's just, it's a free mobile game, but you got some ads on it. That's kind of how we're working here. But welcome into the Rick and Johnny podcast. It's been a great week. Like today, I'll be honest, I'm a little under the weather. Kind of recording this podcast a little under the weather, but we had to come in and do it for you a little early because you're going to be at C2E2 this week.
Yes, I am.
You are. Are you excited for? Do you have any plans of what you exactly want to hit at C2E2?
Well, obviously, since you and I went once, we didn't explore a damn thing because
that was, you had one goal in mind, and that was get to Stan Lee for his autograph.
Yes, and that took how many hours? 4?
It took a lot of hours.
4 hours in line.
Where I was like, you know what? I just want to leave.
Okay, so let's put the cost of Stanley's autograph is
priceless.
$150. Well, yeah, that's
priceless.
But $150 altogether,
and then the time investment
plus 4 hours
of
standing in line, at least 4 hours.
It wasn't a consistent he's there and then signing. He was there signing, then left to do a panel, and then had to come back.
Yes, so that
we're not told about that one though. We weren't told.
No, we were not given a heads up about that until
until it happened.
Until we were in the first 2 rows of line.
I mean, it's Stan Lee.
Oh no, I have his autograph, and that's never come.
He can do whatever he wants.
So my bedroom is up these flight of stairs. And as you look up the stairs, I took my mom's artwork down that she bought from some store.
Oh, wow.
And I hung it up right there. And
that just shows your priorities. Stan Lee greater than mom? Is that what you're saying?
Stan Lee's greater than stupid artwork from a store.
Okay.
It's not like mom drew it.
We're not going on the level that Stan Lee's greater than mom, because I don't know if I could do that.
No. It's not like my mom drew it or anything. She bought it from the store. It was decorative art she bought. I took it down. Stan Lee's autograph goes up. And as soon as you look up those stairs, you can see that poster with his autograph.
Well, and
I need to get a light above it, though.
Well, one thing I hope you do this weekend for us on your own Twitter, post the hell out of what you're doing, because we will MVP the pod, like the Twitter at Most Valuable Pod. We'll be retweeting. I want to see what's going on when you're.
If I don't do it right then and there, you guys are gonna get flooded on Sunday.
Oh, we will. I want to be flooded.
Oh yeah,
with pictures and stuff of what's going on at C2E2. But what a week we've had. Also, we're not talking about this, but I have to mention it. Spider-Man for PlayStation 4.
Yes.
That gets a release date. I am very happy about that. I'm thinking about buying the collector's edition for maybe $150. We'll see how that works out. But
may as well.
That is how I am excited I am
Ricky,
for that.
It's Spider-Man. Just do it.
Today, we also got the remaking Spyro. I've heard about this for months. For months, I've heard that they're going to remake Spyro. When is it going to come? When is it going to come? We finally got it September of 18th. We will have Spyro in our hands to be able to play 1 through 3 yet again.
Nice.
And then more importantly, what we're getting to, our news. John Krasinski, I hope I said that right.
Yes.
Basically, what is it, Jim from The Office?
Jim from The Office, yeah.
Jim from The Office wants to play Reed Richards. So we're going to talk about that. Fantastic Four. Will we ever get that movie? I don't ever know. Then we're going to dive into the Venom movie, talk a little about Carnage and his role, and then later talk about Batman, the movie. What should the story be? If we have enough time, there will be a secret, maybe 4th topic, if we have enough time to hit it in tonight's recording session. But before we get into it, a little bit of housekeeping. I will keep it plain and simple. Go check out patreon.com/Most Valuable Podcast to support us. Go on to iTunes and Apple Podcasts. Please give us a 5-star rating. The Rick and Johnny Podcast, both Johnny and I would appreciate it. Go to mostvaluablepodcast.com to get everything that we do each and every day. And then number 3, the store you buying the MVP t-shirt, you want to get one of those, that link is down below in the description as well. Want to get through that housekeeping a little quick because this has been a longer intro for our podcast because of C2E2 and everything going on.
I do have one more bit of news that we did miss.
Go ahead.
Mountain Dew Baja Blast is coming back to stores on April 23rd. Yeah.
When did you find that out?
Just today online.
I mean, you are a Baja Blast. I was Code Red guy.
Yeah.
Like, I was Code Red, then the original, then I want to. Ooh, what would be my third? It would be a fight for third. Let's be honest. Between LimeWire and Pitch Black, but I didn't really like Pitch Black.
Have you ever tried all the flavors though? Have you tried all of them?
I don't like Baja Blast. Isn't for me.
Oh, you don't like it?
I believe when they had the 3, it was Whiteout, Voltage, and what was the third one?
Voltage was not part of that the trial one where you there were 3 of them and you got to choose from.
One was
Whiteout, Typhoon was pink. That was disgusting.
Yeah, I
don't remember the last one.
I thought Voltage was a part of that.
No, Voltage came out before those did.
Okay.
That was almost like I think that was actually like a vote for it thing.
I would say my top 3, and maybe this is nostalgia kicking in for Mountain Dew flavors. Code Red is among the best. Like, there's no touching Code Red at the top of the Mountain Dew mountaintop for me. Mm-hmm. Then there's nothing better than Mountain Dew Original. And then LimeWire.
Oh, you don't like Throwback?
LimeWire would be
real sugar.
With the real sugar? No, I want that artificial
it was gross.
sugar.
I'll be honest, it was gross.
And then for 3, I guess I'll throw in LimeWire because that's my childhood talking. Really, at that point, I really don't care. Right, it's just red and green are the 2 that I go to.
Red goes down the mountain because I have a red 40 allergy,
so you can't have it,
and horrible acid reflux from it.
It's okay.
So Baja Blast gets up there.
Only the purest of humans can have Code Red.
Yeah. Purist. Well, I mean, I'd have to be human for that to happen.
Well, true. You would.
You guys don't consider me that.
But let's dive into our first story. We've had them waiting enough. It has been like 7 minutes, not even.
It's like a big drum roll.
It is. It's a big drum roll. Where
we are procrastinating on this topic, you guys.
They're sitting there going, "Get to the story. That's what I came here for." But Johnny Krasinski, A Quiet Place, coming out this weekend. We were going to go see both Blockers and Napa because of C2E2, because of
C2E2 takes precedence, so
and having to shift the podcast because of it. Yes. It's just not going to happen this weekend. He has that movie coming out, and in an interview for that, he basically said during an interview, I'll read the quote, "Oh, yeah, well, the question was, a lot of fans at Screen Rant love the superhero stuff. You and Emily have both flirted with this for a little bit. Any chance you guys could be playing Invisible Woman or Mr. Fantastic?" He said, "Oh yeah, the Fantastic Four. I love that. I mean, listen, I'm still getting into the whole superhero thing. I didn't read comics as a kid, not as many. I read some, but not as much. But I'm a huge superhero fan, so yeah, I'd love to do something like that. If there are any left, a lot of these have been taken, but the ones that are left, yeah, I would love to do something like that. And listen, I'd love to work with her again, so any chance I got would be great." End quote. I'm going to ask you kind of a double-parted question. Number 1, would John Krasinski make a good Mr. Fantastic? And number 2, basically after reading that, is it it's not like I want to, it's like yeah, that'd be cool, I guess. Am I right? It's not like I want to play him.
Yeah,
it's
no, it's not like hell yeah. It's like, no, that would be cool.
I guess that'd be cool. What about you? If Krasinski was going to be Mr. Fantastic, what would you think?
I'm not opposed. I know him mainly from The Office. Mm-hmm. Not sure a lot he's been in otherwise. I know you were looking it up earlier.
Something Borrowed.
What other ones, since you have it up already?
He's going to be in, let's see, Jack Ryan TV series, which is in pre-production. Did a voice for BoJack Horseman.
Really?
He's been in Arrested Development, The Office. A lot of it has been. He was in The Muppets, the movie from 2011.
Oh, yeah, he was in that.
It's Complicated, Leatherheads, License to Wed. So a lot of these TV series / comedies are almost like romantic type movies.
Yeah, romantic comedies.
But he does have his horror movie, A Quiet Place, coming out tonight as we're recording it, or tomorrow on Friday, depending on when you go and see it. But to me, I look at this and I go, my first thing that I saw was the fan art. When you look at the Screen Rant article, and I don't mind the look of it, like the beard, the kind of, they grade the hair out on the side.
Which is great because it's supposed to be.
The thing I don't like, and I know you have kind of dissected the fan art to make me not basically have this worry.
You're welcome, Ricky.
But I looked at how buff he looked, and I went, maybe it's just me. I don't want my Reed Richards being a buff guy. I don't want him to be like, oh my God, I can lift so much. I'm so strong. I kind of want him to be that, like, not dorky scientist, but like that
thinner, lanky-ish.
Yeah. I
Lanky's a little bit off term. What I was thinking.
I want his brain, his intelligence to be what is the best thing about him, not Ricky, his brawn strength.
This is the muscle. This is the muscle.
But you know what I mean. I want the brain to be his biggest and best muscle.
Exactly. I agree.
And that was my little worry. But you told me not to have that worry.
Yeah. No. I mean, the fan art again. It does look great, but that is essentially taken from Captain America. You can tell by how the shoulders are, and the biggest giveaway to me was the brown strap.
Okay.
The 2 brown straps. That's from the shield holder. So, I mean, they altered the neck a bit, which great. It actually looks great. They took out a lot of the stuff on the chest, but they missed a little bit there, too. So you can see there where they did that and did the 4. It still looks great. I don't mind, as long as it's no more buff than that.
Yeah,
like let's say he can be. I would say go physically fit, but don't make him buff. We don't want a Hemsworth. We don't want a Evans. We don't want. I don't even really want a Robert Downey Jr. I don't want him to be that buff.
Do you have an actor in mind that you would like
another
to play
actor?
Him?
Not at this off the top of my head.
Because like for me, the Fantastic Four that we grew up with, like kind of teenage area, that. It was, I think his name was Goldblum. I don't quote me on the guy who played Mr. Fantastic. I'd have to look it up. Actually, I have it right in front of me.
Yeah, you do.
Gruffud is the last name of who he said. I don't even remember him being in anything after that. But that's kind of what I want my Reed Richards to look like. I mean,
I agree. I don't want him to be too fit.
Even Fan 4 Stick, I'll be honest, Fan 4 Stick is terrible. But even that Reed Richards that they had, it wasn't like oh my God, why is he Reed Richards? It was like, okay, I could see him as Reed Richards. I can see how you would go that route. What do you think then? And here's the second question I have, because I'm looking at an article now that says, this is from MovieWeb, and it says Fantastic Four reboot would be perfect for Krasinski and Emily Blunt. Do you think that maybe because the whole thing about this is we're not getting Fantastic Four movie right away.
No.
Like everything with this has to wait until that Disney Fox deal goes through and then Disney puts everything together. Would you even think Emily Blunt would be a good choice to play the Invisible Woman?
Well, here's the thing. The first thing I'm gonna say is, because you and I didn't get to see a Quiet Place this weekend, I'm gonna check it out at some point. I don't 100% know their chemistry together. So it's hard to say if they will both be really good at like doing the back and forth with that. But Emily Blunt as Invisible Woman by herself, I would say maybe. I haven't seen a lot that she's been in, but I've seen like The Huntsman. I've seen Muppets. There's not a lot I've seen her in. So, I mean, she's a good actress. I think she could pull it off, but I would say there's probably other actresses that are out there that could.
Now, here's the thing.
More so Invisible Woman.
If you were, and this is going more towards, you're the Marvel guy.
Yes.
So I'm putting you in charge of the Fantastic Four movie. Let's say Disney has the rights already.
Ooh.
I'm putting you in charge of the movie. What kind of fantastic family are you putting together? Are you putting together a fantastic family that is, okay, we're tying this into the MCU. They've already been here, but they're kind of doing their own thing. Or are you doing more of a, hey, let's tie it in to the cosmic universe in some way? Because the thing that I'll throw out there, and this, I don't want this to skew your thought process, but I'll throw it out there anyways.
Okay. In
Marvel Comics right now, they're bringing back the Fantastic Four, and I believe the whole storyline is that two of the members, I'll look it up exactly in a second while you give your answer, but two of the members are kind of lost in space, and two of the other ones, I think it's the Thing and Mr. Fantastic, have to go find them. And they're kind of starting that comic book. So if you were ahead of, we're developing a new Fantastic Four movie, what would be your target for what kind of actress or actor you would take for the Richards duo of Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic?
Well, what I would do, I would use this as a great stepping stone. Let's say we didn't get to start with the Cosmic Universe yet, because they talk about it, hasn't even really been introduced that much yet.
Yeah, but by the time this deal goes through, we're going to be done with that,
what
right?
I'm going to say, maybe. I don't know. It depends. I don't know. We haven't, like I said, we still have another Infinity Wars. We have Spider-Man's going to be based here. The only thing that's going to start anything cosmic besides Guardians of the Galaxy, some of Thor.
But isn't and here's the only question I ask on that. Isn't Infinity War 2, I'm calling it, isn't Avengers 4 the end of the MCU as we know it, and then that's where the Cosmic Universe starts?
Not necessarily. Because again, Spider-Man, there's a Spider-Man or one or two Spider-Man movies supposed to come out after all that.
Yeah, the Spider-Man 2 takes place hours after Avengers.
Yeah, it's going to take place here. It's not going to take place out there somewhere.
But just because it takes place here doesn't mean it can't be in the Cosmic Universe.
Basically, let's put it this way.
We are a part of the cosmos.
Yes, we are. That's what I'm saying. Before I got so rudely interrupted, I'm kidding. What I'm saying is, so Spider-Man's going to take place here. Excuse me. Let's say we haven't quite yet introduced the Cosmic Universe, because are you really going to just throw all your fans right into it?
No. Exactly.
You're going to introduce it. Fantastic Four is a decent way of doing that. Honestly, let's say you could go along and kind of intro like movie them into it, where they're investigating stuff. They get hit by that radiation. Yada yada yada. That becomes the Fantastic Four. If we wanted, if we wanted to do an intro movie, if they really wanted to, they can just kind of throw them in, say, hey, they already have their powers. You already know this story. Yada yada yada, and start bringing in hints of Galactus or hints of the Silver Surfer, et cetera, and make that the basis of the movie. Because I don't think you want to have them split off right away and have two of them you're giving no one like an intro story of anyone that hasn't for some reason figured it out how they got their powers, cosmic radiation. You don't want to throw people right into that and right into the middle of a story already going on. So it's either you want to give them the intro or you want to have them all together, but you want to have one of the two.
How we introduce it, I just want to make sure I'm hearing you right, because I was kind of trying to see also about the comic to make sure I had it correct. How we introduce the Cosmic Universe and kind of link it to Earth is the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
And have them coming back from their mission without us even doing the whole thing of, they went on a mission.
Yeah, honestly, you can have them like...
Or you can play with timelines.
Yeah, that's true.
They went on a mission, like they've already been around, but the whole reason we haven't seen them is they got trapped in a multiverse.
Well,
they got trapped in an alternative
I wasn't
timeline.
saying that, though. What I was saying more so was, honestly, you can even have them come back, them come back from their mission. That maybe they don't have the powers right then and there, and all of a sudden, like they start the mutating from the cosmic radiation. Maybe it's not an instantaneous thing. Maybe
so they're not. So what you're saying is origin story, but they haven't been the Fantastic Four while the MCU's been going on.
Maybe not, because let's say, I'll put it this way. You didn't see Johnny Storm or Ben or, I forgot this, is Susan Storm, show up on the Hydra radar, just Reed Richards. Yeah. And you know why that is? Because he's so fucking smart. Even without powers, he's a super genius.
And even in I think back to the Infinity War comics, they had in that an issue where when it was the person from the Fantastic Four that was there to meet with Namor and Iron Man and Doctor Strange, Reed Richards was there. He was the one. So, I mean, I could get that part of it to where you're like, oh, he was on the radar because he's so smart that he should be on the radar. Because Hydra can be like, how can we capture him and make him work for us?
Or just
brainwash him.
Or even, that thing was to put a gun to him so say either you work for us or we take you out.
True.
Because basically what that gun was is to take out all threats. So it's like, Reed Richards is a threat to us. Because since maybe they already approached him. It's like, we can't get him to work for us. We're going to take him out. He's one of those people that could falter our plans. So my thought would be, since a lot of people, maybe not everyone, but a lot of people know their origin story. They go up into space, they get hit with cosmic radiation, they get mutated powers from that. So we can do it in a sense of they come back down from that. They're testing themselves on, what happened? Like, Reed Richards is obviously going to go, okay, I need to see what the effects are going to happen of this cosmic radiation. He's testing everyone. Well, guess what? Slow mutation, like, it doesn't happen right off the bat. They get back and then mutate. They start to mutate in a sense. It's that way you got kind of playing to the science that Marvel likes to put behind it and say, oh, well, it takes the time for the body to change its cellular structure. You can go with something like that. But anyways, that would bring it, like, give you somewhat of an intro and then kind of tie it in cosmically, because then you can have, well, what made that cosmic burst of radiation? Or again, like I said, you already have them with their powers, but you have, hey, there's a blip on the radar and ends up maybe near the end of the movie, it's Silver Surfer. Or something, some sort of intro-esque to, I forgot his name for a second.
You're talking about
Galactus.
Yes.
I'm like, what is his name?
Because he would be the Thanos baddie, but
yeah, he would be kind of the Thanos baddie.
So I found out for sure. There's a video that I can't watch, obviously, because we're recording. But the thing that they don't say exactly, but it seems like it says, well, Johnny Storm, Human Torch, and Ben Grimm, the Thing, remained on Earth. Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, and Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, took their kids and set off on an adventure across the multiverse. They've only sparingly been seen or referenced since. And then this is coming from Marvel's editor-in-chief, C.B. Cebulski. He says, Reed and Sue will be coming back to the Marvel Universe. The original team will be reforming. And it seems like the plot looks like the Richards are Storm and Richards are off. Thing and Johnny are here. All right, Ben, we got to go get them. We got to find them. What if the MCU kind of ties that into it to where it's like, hey, you haven't seen us because we've kind of been dealing with our own kind of like our own family, the Fantastic Family. We've been dealing with our own shit, so we haven't been able to kind of help you guys out with everything that's been going on with Thanos because we haven't really been here.
True.
Like, yeah, we got the powers a long time ago, but... And that could make sense for, why Reed Richards is there, leader of the Fantastic Four, need to keep them on the radar, but also kind of tie in what's going on with the comics into the whole MCU thing and be like, hey, the whole reason we didn't help with Thanos, we were trying to figure our own shit out first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because Thanos is going to be a big thing of like... You'd start to question why they didn't come in and help. I mean, it's going to be hard because the other part that you and I know... That too.
Like why aren't they here?
Yeah, I mean that's going to be the other question that pulls it into it is like, well, why didn't the X-Men help? When then Marvel's going to have to figure out a way to either try and explain it or just say sweep that one under the rug and say, you know what, you all know we didn't have the rights to them. Yeah, you can't blame us for
miracles.
Miracles. They made miracles like. Oh my God! You know I shook my head when they said that.
No.
I wasn't happy.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. I don't know how
really
they would bring in. I don't know how they would bring in the X-Men and make it like, oh, nothing happened, because what they're doing with the comic here for the Fantastic Four can work for if they want to bring them into the MCU.
That could make it like that could be the one thing that could make it so it's like, okay, this is why they weren't helping with the Thanos thing. Basically, they weren't here.
Or, let me think about that. Would the Dark Phoenix saga storyline be considered cosmic to you?
In some sense, if we go with like the old cartoon?
The whole reason we weren't helping you is Jean was going to die. We were dealing with everything with that.
Jean was going to kill everything else.
Basically. Like, but the whole like space part of the Phoenix storyline.
Let's just, you and I go with let's go along with the idea of the old cartoons.
Yeah.
There was that whole chunk of time people from space. They were in space.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah.
You could do that with the X-Men, and that's why they weren't around either. So there are ways around it. Before we move on, though, into the Sony part, into Venom, any final thoughts you want about Krasinski and Mr. Fantastic, about any of the other roles for if you're putting together a Fantastic Four movie or a Fantastic Four movie in general? Any final thoughts?
I'm not opposed to Krasinski. As long as he's not, like we said earlier, I want a scientist. I want him to be less buff. I want him to look like a Reed Richards. Do you want a younger Reed Richards or an older Reed Richards? Because there was a little, on the fan art, there was a little gray. Older. I want that gray there.
You do want the gray?
I want like fatherly age, 40s.
Do you want them to have kids?
Not yet.
Do you want him and Sue to have kids?
I'd wait on that.
Okay.
Focus on the Fantastic Four and then bring that in. Maybe even as an Easter egg of I'm pregnant.
True, maybe. Or, maybe. But then it's like, oh, how is that going to happen?
Pregnancy reveal on
with everything ending everything. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you guys think down below in the comment section.